Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Phoenix Rise podcast. Claire here, your host. So happy to have you with me. It is Tuesday, and I finally feel like I've returned to normal because my youngest has gone back to school. Praise the Lord. I love my kids, but oh my God, I've still been working on Christmas time. I'm like, I need some normality right now. So I am now back to normal. And we are continuing with our mini 6-day series for covering the framework and methodology that we're using in the Elevate Mastermind, which is my visionary methodology that we are then elevating to a whole new level for the Elevate Mastermind. So we are on day 5, which will be kind of nearing the end of the Elevate Mastermind. So we're doing 2 weeks per framework, per thing. I am still not in real life yet, okay? So you're going to have to give me a bit of leeway here. So this is going to be towards the back end of the mastermind. So when you started integrating, you started elevating, you started evolving, and you're now really starting to look at your offer suite. You're starting to look at where your income is coming, where it's coming from, and also how. How is it coming in? And what does that look like for you? As in, what kind of life is that giving you, right? Because so many of us build a business without really thinking about the kind of life that we want. And what ends up happening is we end up working more than we ever did when we were in employment, working for someone else. We become an employee of ourselves, doing all the things. I know, I've been there, doing all the things: reception, customer services, client retention, accounts, marketing, social media, all of the things, sales, you name it. We wear all the hats and we end up burning the fuck out. We end up not enjoying what we're doing. And we also end up not creating as much impact as we want to make because we're doing all of these things that we shouldn't be doing. So we are talking today about the offer suite, the CEO offer suite. So what does this look like for you? Where does a client come into your world? Where are they when they come into your world? And typically, this is a past version of ourselves, right? This is someone who we used to be. We've been there. We remember what it was like to feel in that space that we were in at that time. So think about what version of you that was, because that is the person that you're going to be helping at some point, because you can't teach something that you haven't learned from yourself, because that's just not cool. Right? We need to have actually experienced it, implemented it, and learned and grown from it ourselves in order to be able to lead others through it. That's just the way it is, because otherwise you're not working in full authenticity, you're not working in integrity, and that's just not how we do things around here. So if you're in my space, it needs to be a past version of you that you have been, grown, and evolved from. So I would like you to ask yourself now, where does your dream client enter your world? Where are they at? What is the pain that they're feeling at the moment? What is their struggle? What are they actively Googling help for? Maybe it's, how do I make more money in my business? Maybe it's, how do I lose weight? Maybe it's, how do I get in touch more with my spirituality? Maybe it's, can I be spiritual and wealthy? I was one of those people. You know, it could be a whole number of things, but really start thinking about that. Where are they when they enter your world? And now think about where you can take them. Where you can take them. So again, this is a past version of you, but it won't be as far in the past, right? So this will be a more recent past version of you as to where you can take them. Where's the level that you can get them to, that you've been at yourself and that you can get them to? So for me, I know that I can get female entrepreneurs to 6 figures, to multiple 6 figures, because I've done that numerous times. So I know that I can help them do that. And I know I have the framework, I know I have the methodology. I've been through all of my own failures, all of my own fuck ups, all of my own lessons. And I know now the best way to do it. the best way to implement it. And I know the things that they need to focus on to do it that I didn't, right? So I learned the hard way so they don't have to. So ask yourself, where can you get them to? So where are they when they enter your world? Where can you get them to without feeling like an imposter, without feeling like a fraud, without feeling like maybe I shouldn't be saying I can do this? Because if you're in full authenticity and in full, what's the word? Like embodiment of owning your greatness, right? Not shying away from knowing that you can help people in whatever respect that is. Look at that timeline. And now what I want you to do is say, okay, and then what offers can I give them along this timeline? What can I create that is going to help them through this timeline? And this is how we start getting clear on our CEO offer suite. And I also want to add on here that if you're a multi-passionate like me, you can incorporate multiple businesses into the same timeline, right? So I'll give you an example. So one of my businesses is a crystal business, and I am currently franchising that at the moment. Now, my timeline literally goes from women still in employment with a side hustle, wanting to make the switch, right? They want to become a full-time entrepreneur. They want to go all in on their business. They know that they're here for bigger, better, brighter things. I know that I can help them from there because I've been there. And I know that I can help them get to the multiple six figures and living the legacy, not on the hustle, grind, burnout, that they can actually create a life of ease, flow, and alignment, that they can live the legacy, create the impact and the income that they want to create. So for me, that timeline stems across multiple businesses for me. So franchising my crystal business was very strategic for two reasons. Three reasons actually. So one, I did it because I've moved into my collaboration era. Right? So a lot of people know this story. I've moved away from my old competition mindset. I've fully stepped into collaboration, and I want to help as many other women as possible do the same. So for me, this is walking the walk, right? This is really showing, okay, I've had it with the crystal world that I used to be in, that was so bitchy, that was so like secretive, that was so just not nice, not a nice industry to be in. And I'm like, okay, I'm changing the game here. I am now saying, let's do this together. Let's grow this together. Let's elevate together, because this is how we ultimately raise the consciousness of the planet, right? This is how we help humanity as well as ourselves and each other. So that was reason number one. Reason number two is so that I can, what was reason number two? It's so that I can grow it in a far bigger way. Okay, so rather than us doing direct sales, whether it's on lives, whether it's in events, whatever it is, it means that we can grow through a bigger reach, because every franchisee that we have on means that they are ultimately selling crystals for us, right? Without us having to do it directly ourselves. Yes, they make money, so do we. So everyone is a win-win. And also because it fits into my timeline, because my dream client, my client that I can help, wants to add in passive revenue into their own offer suite, right? So when they're in this stage, when they're building out their offer suite, they know that passive revenue is an important factor of that, because creating income without having to do much, whilst it's in alignment with what you're doing in your current business or businesses, or the impact that you're here to make, is a no-brainer. It's an absolute no-brainer. It helps everyone involved. So for me, it was just an all-round, like, absolute hell yes, full body, like, this is what I want to do with this business. This is how I want to grow this business, because it just ticks every single box. And passive revenue is so important, because my first business that I created in the corporate industry, the model that it has is passive revenue. Okay, so I know for the next 3 years, I've got X amount coming in from that business every month. It floats between kind of 15 and 25K a month, roughly, just in my corporate business. Now, I know that that's coming in. regardless of how much or little work I do, because I have a team running the business, it's there. And having that enabled me to follow my other passions, to follow my other interests, to build my other businesses without that sense of, oh, I need money right now. I need to make sales right now. Because when we get into that desperation energy, that's when we repel, right? That's when we're not in alignment. That's when we're trying to force things. That's why we're moving in the wrong reasons. We're doing things for the wrong reasons. But when the money isn't an issue, it means that you can act with integrity. You can act with alignment. You can act with passion and with purpose, following what calls you. Because the money is a byproduct. The income is a byproduct of you moving in alignment, of you moving on the path of your purpose, right? Of following your North Star, of being in your Dharma, of doing what you're here to do. So the CEO Offer Suite encompasses all of that. So whether you only want one business or whether you're a multi-passionate entrepreneur like me, knowing that timeline, where your client is, when they enter your world, where you can take them, and how you can help them along that journey, and having multiple entry levels, right? So starting with your free and your low ticket offers to your mid ticket, to your high ticket and your close proximity or your one-to-one touch base, whatever you want to do. But it's having that stretch. Because the more revenue streams that you have, the more income sources you have, right? If one doesn't do well, you have others. If one takes a dip, you have others. You're never reliant on solely one thing. And this is the switch, right? Going from an employee mindset to an entrepreneur mindset, because when we're an employee, all we're doing is trading our time for money. That's it. But when you build the Offer Suite, you have multiple income streams. You're no longer trading time for money. You get money to work for you, regardless of what time of the day it is, regardless of what you're doing, right? Whether you're on holiday, whether you're playing with the kids, whether you're watching telly, whatever it is, whether you're at the gym, you get paid continuously through those multiple revenue streams. So in my businesses, I have passive income. I have like ongoing things. So for instance, our mastermind is 12 weeks. So I know that 12 weeks, I have that income blocked out for. I have a 5-week masterclass. I know that I have income blocked out for that. I have, well, I don't really do one-to-one anymore, but I have high-level touch services that I will be integrating. I know that those are blocked out. I will have retreats that I'm adding on. Those are more like one-off things, right? So it's knowing in your Offer Suite what kind of income is going to be generated by what kind of offer. And then knowing that you've got all of that. Because if you've got the passive revenue sorted first and foremost, all of the rest, you can just do what lights you up. You can just follow your heart, follow your passion, follow your purpose, and allow the downloads to come to you. But knowing the structure, knowing the strategy, knowing the timeline of your dream client. And this is how we bypass overwhelm, right? This is how we bypass confusing people if we talk about lots of different things, because we're still talking about the same person. We're still talking about their timeline of where they are and where they want to be. And we just service them in different ways, whether that's with different businesses, different services, different offerings, whatever it may be. It doesn't matter. As long as you build your personal brand and as long as you create this Offer Suite and you stay true to the timeline for your client, this is what will make people say, she's talking to me. I want whatever she's offering because I know that I'm her dream client. I know that she is the person to help me. Because you know who you're talking to, because you were them, right? You've been there, you've done that, you've worn that t-shirt, you got through it, you learned the lessons, you're now evolved from that, you've now elevated from that, you've now grown from that, and you can help other people through that. So this is what the CEO Offer Suite is all about. It's about learning to be the CEO, not being the employee, not doing everything, learning to delegate, learning to build teams, learning to be a leader, learning to take a step back, learning to trust, and learning how to serve your clients in the best way, whilst also serving yourself, right? Whilst also serving your true passions, what you're here to do. Because there's no point in creating something if it doesn't inspire you or if it doesn't light you up. What's the point? No one's going to buy that because the energy isn't there. It needs to be something that lights you up as well. And having this offer suite, this timeline, is going to help you get crystal clear on what that looks like for you without getting confused. I was going to stop it there, but I was like, I'll just quickly mention this as well. So even things like my speaking, okay? So when I do speaking events, I know that I'm always talking to this timeline. Any speaking gig that I do, I will only do it if the person is on that timeline, because that is what resonates with me. That is my person, right? That's who I know that I can help. I'm trying to think of any other examples. So my speaking, franchising the crystals, the retreats, I know that my person, when they start hitting the bigger money, when they start getting to those 10K months, because I've led them that way, or maybe they even enter my world at that stage, they value retreats at that point. They know that they need that time, that they want to meet like-minded people, that they want to connect deeper to themselves, deeper to their spirituality. They want to have that community around them of high vibe people. My mastermind, same thing, depending on which level you're at. That's why we're creating different level masterminds for different level, not for different level clients, but for clients at different stages through that timeline, but they're always in this timeline. This is what keeps structure. This is what stops multi-passionates getting so batshit crazy confused. And I've been there. I'm like, I've got so many ideas. I don't know which to focus on. I don't know which ones I should do, which ones I shouldn't do. I don't know which to follow. I mean, I've got literally a whole page of notes of business ideas. They stay in there until I can see them fitting into this timeline. Because if they don't fit, then they aren't for me, or not right at this moment anyway. So this is the CEO Offer Suite. It's all about getting crystal clear on your dream client, where they enter your world, where you can take them, how you can serve them, and how it's going to provide you with multiple income streams whilst giving you the life and the impact that you desire, without the overwhelm, without the hustle, without the grind, and without the burnout. So that was I feel like that was really quick, this one. I don't know how long it was, but I've literally just got back. We went to the Crystal Suppliers today, so I've just got back and I'm like, I need to do this podcast before I go and do the school run, or I won't have time today. And I'm doing them every day for 6 days. So CEO Offer Suite, let's get it nailed down. Make sure that you apply to join the Elevate Mastermind if you haven't already, because the applications close on the 31st of January. And I know you know that you're ready. I know you know that you need to invest in yourself, that you need to get in the room in order to create the success that you say you want. So let's just stop beating around the bush and let's do it, shall we? So until next time, I shall see you all soon.